Most apartment complexes hide secrets, strange noises, strange neighbors, strange shadows that move when they shouldn't. But the one you're about to hear about is different, because in this building, every hallway has a story, every door hides a fear, and every night brings something new to dread. These are 3 chilling tales from inside a haunted apartment complex. The rent is due. You never really notice a building until it notices you. That's what I kept thinking the night I arrived at Merrow Heights, a 12-story block of concrete leaning slightly forward, like it was listening closely. The street around it was abandoned, except for a single flickering lamp that buzzed like a trapped insect. I was cold, sleepless, and desperate. 3 months behind on rent, jobless, and 1 eviction notice away from sleeping under a bridge. So when I found the listing online, affordable room, no credit check, cash accepted, move in immediately, I clicked faster than I should have. I should have known something was wrong when the page loaded without an address. It only displayed a map with a pulsing red dot. And for some reason, I went anyway. The lobby doors were unlocked. They opened without resistance, as if the building had expected me. Inside, the air smelled faintly of bleach and something metallic beneath it. The front desk was empty except for a bell and a ledger, an actual leather ledger with yellowed pages like this place belonged in another century. A handwritten note faced me. Sign in to apply. The pen beside it was warm. I looked around, half expecting a landlord to pop out and welcome me. Nothing, just the sound of the building creaking, settling, or breathing. I signed my name. The ink sank into the page like the paper was thirsty. Almost instantly, the elevator at the end of the lobby dinged. Its doors slid open by themselves. I should have left. But desperation makes you ignore the things that should terrify you. So, I stepped inside. As the doors closed, the elevator hummed, soft, almost approving. Then, it moved on its own, even though I hadn't pressed a button, climbing slowly, stopping on the 6th floor. The doors parted to reveal a carpeted hallway lined with peeling golden wallpaper. The lights flickered in a slow, rhythmic pulse, like a heartbeat. At the end of the hall stood a woman. She didn't move. She didn't blink. She only smiled wide, fixed, as if held in place by invisible hooks. Her clothes were old-fashioned, a long dress the color of dried blood. "Welcome," she said, her voice soft as cotton. "We've been expecting you." I froze. She lifted a gloved hand and pointed to room 6B. "There's your unit. The landlord will speak with you shortly." I swallowed hard. I haven't agreed to anything yet." Her smile never changed. "You will." Something inside me whispered to run. But the hallway behind me faded darker, as if the shadows themselves were closing in. So I moved toward the door of 6B, if only to escape her stare. Inside, the apartment was spotless. Too spotless. No dust, no personal items, nothing that suggested anyone had lived here before. The walls were bare, the single window was barred from the outside, and the only furniture was a neatly made bed and a chair sitting directly across from it, like someone expected me to sit, or sleep, or wait. I turned to leave, but the door closed behind me with a soft click, locking from the outside. The lights dimmed, and a voice crackled through the vent near the ceiling. A man's voice, calm, smooth, too close. "Welcome to Merrow Heights, Mr. Hale. I'm the landlord." I stepped back. "The door locked. I didn't..." That's standard procedure for new tenants. New? I haven't agreed to. But you signed the ledger, didn't you? My stomach twisted. That was for acceptance. The building chooses its tenants, and it chose you. My heart hammered. I want out. Another soft chuckle. You'll change your mind when you hear the rent. I stopped. The rent? This building is home to very particular residents. Murderers, Mr. Hale. All of them. Some famous, some forgotten. Some still wearing the faces of their last victims. My breath caught in my throat. And the rent? Is one corpse a month. I shook my head furiously. No, I'm leaving. I don't care what I signed. I reached for the door, grabbed the knob, and felt a sudden jolt, like grabbing a live wire. I screamed, pulling my hand back. The metal knob had seared itself into my skin, leaving a dark mark shaped like a keyhole. The landlord's voice returned, amused. Attempts to leave before the first payment are strongly discouraged. My pulse pounded against my skull. Let me out! But the room felt smaller now, the air heavier. Calm yourself. The building does not want you dead. It wants you useful. My voice dropped to a shaking whisper. What happens if I don't pay? Silence. Long enough to feel eternal. Then the residents get to collect. A soft knock interrupted him. Not on the door, from inside the walls. Then another knock. Lower, slow, as if someone was dragging their hand along the hidden pipes. The landlord continued. In this building, everyone contributes. Some hunt in alleys, some in forests. Some lure delivery drivers inside, but all must pay. A corpse, a month. No exceptions. Why me? I breathed. Because you're ideal. Ideal for what? For killing. No, I can't. I've never... Not yet, he corrected. The walls groaned again, closer, like something crawled behind them. Room 8C needs a roommate. He's been practicing taxidermy on his last payment. You should find him quite inspirational. I backed away until I hit the bed. No, please, I'm not a murderer. Then the landlord said something that made the entire building fall silent. Not true. The vent crackled again, shifting, adjusting. You killed your boss's career last year, ruined him with a rumor you knew wasn't true. My lungs stopped. My blood froze. How do you... You knew. The building reads people. It finds those who've harmed without consequence, those who've tasted power, those who can be sharpened into something exquisite. Air drained from the room as if the building sucked it away. You are already one of us, the landlord whispered. The walls throbbed, the light flickered violently. Then, silence. The vent clicked off, and the room grew colder. I stood shaking, mind racing, breath unsteady. I had to escape, had to find a way out before the building decided my first payment would be my own body. I grabbed the chair and smashed it at the window bars, but they didn't budge. I slammed the door again and again until my shoulder ached. Nothing. Then I noticed something. The closet door had cracked open. Very slowly. It hadn't been opened before. A cold ripple crawled down my spine. I stepped toward it, cautiously. A whisper came from inside. Soft, breathless. Help me. My heart jumped into my throat. Someone was in there. Someone alive. I reached out and pulled the door open. Inside the closet was a young man, thin, shaking, eyes sunken like he'd been trapped for weeks. He held a kitchen knife loosely in one trembling hand. I'm your neighbor. They locked me in here. They're making me. His voice cracked. Please, help me. We can escape together. Hope flickered, weak but real. How? I whispered. He stepped out slowly, cautiously. We have to kill the landlord. Kill him and the building breaks free. The others, they can't leave without the payment system, but we can, if we act fast. My pulse raced with a mix of fear and desperate belief. Okay, I said, let's... A sudden noise echoed from the hallway. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate. The man grabbed my wrist. Hide, he whispered. Hide now. We ducked into the corner behind the bed as the doorknob rattled. Then it turned. The door swung open. The woman from earlier stepped inside, the one with the crooked smile. She held something behind her back. She sniffed the air lightly, like a predator tasting scent. I know you're in here, she sang softly. The rent is due tonight. I held my breath. The closet man squeezed my hand tightly. She stepped further into the room. This is your first month, she cooed. We can be forgiving, but only once. She brought her hand forward.
And in it was a key ring. Dozens of keys, each old and rusted, jingling softly. Come out, she whispered. You'll want to choose your door before the others arrive. She turned her back to us, scanning the room. The closet man leaned toward me and whispered, barely audible, now. Before I could react, he lunged forward, toward her, knife raised. He drove it straight into her shoulder. She didn't scream. She didn't flinch. She only sighed. Always the new ones, she murmured. Then her head twisted, a full 90 degrees toward him, without her body turning. The man froze. She smiled wider, too wide. I already paid this month. And with unnatural speed, she grabbed his throat. He thrashed. I stumbled back, horrified, as she lifted him off the ground with one arm, as effortlessly as lifting a coat. His legs stopped kicking. She dropped his body with a dull thud. Then she turned to me. Blood dripped from her fingertips, but her smile was soft now, almost comforting. The rent for your unit, Mr. Hale, is now paid. I trembled, unable to speak. She walked toward the door, but paused at the threshold. You'll find the building much more welcoming now. Your next payment is due in 1 month. The door closed behind her. Silence. I stared at the corpse on the floor. My first payment. Not my kill, but my payment. I didn't sleep that night, or the next, but I stayed. I'm still here, because the landlord was right. The building chooses its tenants, and once it chooses you, it never lets you go. Next month, the rent is due again, and this time, I'll be the one paying it.
Story 2. Never follow the sound of a crying child. If you live long enough in the city, you learn its rules. Don't make eye contact on the subway. Don't walk alone through the park after midnight. Don't answer the whispers coming from storm drains. But there's one rule the old building supervisors always say with a seriousness that cuts through the noise. Never follow the sound of a crying child. Most people think it's just a way to keep tenants cautious, to prevent them wandering into construction zones or dark stairwells. But those who've lived in places like mine, they know it's not a metaphor. They know some buildings are alive, and sometimes they're hungry. I moved into Grayson Tower 2 months ago, a decaying high-rise wedged between two newer glass complexes. It looked like a rotten tooth in a perfect smile. I took it because it was cheap, and because I didn't care. I just lost my sister, Lena. She vanished without explanation one night, and I'd spent every day afterward feeling like I was drifting without anchor. My first night in the tower, the building felt wrong. The elevator shuddered like it feared moving. The walls hummed. The air tasted stale, heavy. But grief has a way of muting danger, so I ignored it for a while. It started on my 5th night. I was brushing my teeth when I heard it, faint and muffled, coming through the vent above the bathroom mirror. A child, crying. Not whining, not throwing a tantrum, crying in that soft, exhausted way children do when they've been crying for a very long time. Hello? I called out before thinking. The crying stopped. Silence thickened the air. Then a whisper, trembling and tiny.
Help?
I froze. The vent was too high to reach, too narrow for anyone to be inside. My rational brain whispered, old building, echoes, probably someone on another floor. And I almost believed it, until the whisper came again.
Please. I'm lost. Help me.
The voice was impossibly close, as if the child were right on the other side of the metal grate, pressed against it. I stepped back. A memory hit me, something Lena once told me after we watched a horror movie together. If you ever hear a kid crying when you know no kid should be there, it's not a kid. It's something that wants you close. I shut the bathroom door and slept with the lights on. The next morning, I went to the building supervisor, Mr. Holloway, a thin, gray man who looked like he'd never fully dried out from some long-ago storm. He listened with an expression that didn't change. When I finished, he simply said, "Don't follow it." "I didn't," I snapped. "But there might be an actual kid in the vents." His gaze hardened. "If you hear it again, ignore it. If it gets louder, go to sleep. If it uses your name, leave the apartment until sunrise." My skin crawled. Using my name? Why would it? "Because the tower learns you," he said. "It listens. And sometimes it repeats." He motioned toward the hallway. That's all. I left his office feeling colder.
For 2 days, nothing happened. Then the crying returned. This time, it didn't come from the bathroom vent. It came from the hallway. I was locking my door on my way to work when I heard it. Soft sobs echoing from far down the corridor, around the bend where the lights always flickered. A child, weeping. I shut my eyes. Ignore it. Ignore it. Ignore it. But then,
Help.
the tiny voice cracked with desperation, and something in me snapped. It sounded almost like Lena, when she was young, when she'd get lost in the grocery store and call for me. I shook the thought away. Impossible. Meaningless. but it rooted into my mind like a thorn. "Is someone there?" I whispered. The crying stopped. Then,
I'm scared.
my throat tightened. I took one step down the hall before catching myself. No, this was exactly what Holloway warned about. I backed up. The crying grew louder, closer, like little feet dragging along the carpet.
Don't leave me.
The hallway lights flickered violently, and just for a second, one impossible breath-stopping second, I saw the shadow of a small figure at the corner. Small, still, facing the wall. I slammed the door shut and slid down it, shaking. I didn't sleep that night. The third incident broke me. I woke at 3:12 a.m. to the sound of knocking. Soft, rhythmic. At my bedroom door. Not the apartment door. My bedroom door. I sat up slowly.
Please.
The voice came from the other side of the thin wood. A child's voice. Weak. Pleading.
Please. I can't find my mommy.
I pressed my hand over my mouth, trying not to breathe.
Why won't you help me?
The knob rattled. I nearly screamed. Then, silence. A long, heavy silence, followed by a whisper that slid under the door like smoke.
I know you hear me.
I didn't move until sunrise. By that point, I knew I needed to move out. I didn't care about fees, didn't care about my deposit. I just needed out. But when I tried to break the lease, the office door was locked, lights off. Holloway was nowhere to be found. I began packing immediately. Boxes, bags, whatever I could carry. I tried calling friends to help, but no signal reached inside the tower that day, or any day after. As night approached, the crying began again. Except this time, it was behind multiple doors, echoing from every direction, and the pitch was wrong. Too low sometimes, too scratchy other times, like someone or something was trying out different versions of child. I pushed my dresser against the bedroom door, hand shaking. That's when the crying stopped. I didn't want to hear what replaced it. A soft dragging noise scraped through the hallway. Slow, deliberate, getting closer. Something was moving outside my apartment, dragging its feet or its hands. Then, a whisper right outside the front door.
Are you still awake?
I gripped my phone with white knuckles. Another whisper. Closer this time. Right by the floor.
I can hear you breathing.
I held my breath.
Let me in.
The words were no longer childlike. Just hungry.
Suddenly, silence. No dragging, no whispering, nothing. I waited an hour, then 2. When the sun finally rose, I grabbed my bags and ran for the elevator. The button flickered weakly when I pressed it. The elevator doors opened, empty. I stepped inside, heart pounding. As the doors began to close, I glimpsed something in the reflection. A small figure at the end of the hall, staring at me. Not moving, not blinking, just staring. The door shut completely. The elevator began to descend, and for the first time since moving in, I felt hope. 1 floor down, 2, 3. Then, the elevator jerked violently. The lights flickered. A soft, static crackle filled the speaker above the buttons. Then a voice. A child's voice, but one I recognized.
You're leaving?
My blood froze. I pressed against the back wall. The voice continued.
Why would you leave me now?
The speaker hissed, then spoke again. This time, with my sister's voice, Lena's voice.
Please don't go.
My breath shattered out of me in a sob. No, I whispered, you're not her. Stop using her voice. The elevator groaned and shuddered as if something enormous had grabbed the cables above. The lights dimmed until only a thin emergency glow remained. The speaker whispered, calm and cold.
Come back up.
No.
Come back up, please.
The elevator stopped between floors. My chest tightened.
I'm scared.
It whimpered.
Why won't you help me?
I slapped the emergency call button. Nothing happened. The voice laughed, a sound that started as a child's giggle and warped into something older, wetter, heavier.
You followed me once. You'll follow me again.
The elevator cables snapped. The car dropped. I screamed as the floor rushed up. Then,
Darkness. I woke to the sound of dripping. My head throbbed. The elevator lay crumpled at the bottom of the shaft, twisted like a crushed can. But the doors were open, and beyond them was a hallway. Unlit, unmapped, not part of the building's official layout. I crawled out, shaking. Behind me, the speaker crackled one last time.
You came down after all.
The crying began again, except now it was everywhere. In the walls, in the ceiling, breathing behind me, inhaling my fear. And slowly, softly, footsteps approached. Small footsteps. I turned toward the darkness. Something stood there. I couldn't see its face, but its shape, small, slouched, wrong, swayed like it was made of shadows stitched together. And it whispered with a voice that wasn't a voice at all.
The missing, stay here.
My heart screamed to run, but the darkness moved closer.
And now,
a hand, tiny, cold, grabbed mine.
you're one of us.
They never found me. Not the apartment manager, not the police, not anyone. But they say tenants in Grayson Tower sometimes hear me crying through the vents. They say the sound follows them down the hall. Soft, lonely, begging. And if they're foolish enough to answer, if they take just one step toward the darkness, I smile. Because the building always needs another voice, another missing, another lure. So remember this. Never follow the sound of a crying child, especially if the building is listening. Because when the tower wants you, it will cry until you come home.
Story 3. The Balcony Visitor at 3:18 a.m. There are rules most cities don't bother telling you. Not because they want to protect you, but because acknowledging them makes them real. In my city, there's only one rule that matters. Never be near your balcony at 3:18 a.m. Not the window beside it, not the sliding door, not the room that opens onto it. Because something climbs the balconies at that exact minute. Every night, without fail. I never believed it, not until it climbed mine. I moved into apartment 12B after the breakup, convinced a new environment would quiet the noise in my head. I wanted a reset, clean walls, clean floors, clean memories. And at first, it felt exactly like that. A blank slate suspended 12 stories above a busy street. The balcony, wide and glass-railed, overlooked the whole city. It became my favorite spot. I'd drink tea out there at midnight, watch cars shimmer like insects, pretend I wasn't alone. I should have paid more attention when my neighbor, the old woman from 12A, saw me leaning on the railing and shook her head slowly. "You're new here," she rasped. Her voice sounded like dust dragged across concrete. "Yeah," I said with an awkward smile. "Just moved in yesterday." She hesitated too long before replying. "Just don't be out there after 3:18. I laughed, thinking she meant noise complaints or rowdy drunks, or maybe the streetlights attracted moths she couldn't sleep through. "What happens at 3:18? She didn't answer. She only made the sign of the cross, backed into her apartment, and shut the door. I remember thinking, great, my neighbor is haunted. I had no idea how right I was. The first week went smoothly. I worked late, came home exhausted, collapsed onto my bed. Then came my 8th night. At 3:18 a.m., my phone vibrated. Not a notification, a calendar alert. One I hadn't set. Don't open the curtain. I stared at the screen, half asleep, confused. Then I heard it, a faint metallic scrape outside my balcony window. Slow, rhythmic, climbing. I froze. Wind couldn't sound like that. Animals didn't climb 12 stories of sheer concrete. There was nothing, no drain pipe, no foothold anything could use to scale this building. But the scraping continued, inches from my window. I fought the urge to look. Curiosity works the same way fear does. It crawls, clawing upward. One more scrape, then a soft thump, like a hand placing itself gently on the balcony floor. My pulse hammered, my vision tunneled. I stayed perfectly still until the sound faded. This wasn't real. It couldn't be real. When the sun rose, I convinced myself it had been part of a dream I'd slipped into without realizing. That lie almost kept me sane. Almost. The next night I stayed awake intentionally, not because I believed the sound would return, but because I needed to prove to myself that nothing had been there. At 3:18 a.m., the scraping started again. Same pace, same direction, same impossibility. But tonight there was something new. A faint whisper through the closed glass.
Are you awake?
My breath caught. A child's voice, but not quite right. Too flat, too practiced, like someone imitating a child without understanding how humans speak. I covered my mouth with shaking hands. The whisper came again.
I'm cold. Let me in.
The shadow behind the curtain shifted, very slowly, very deliberately, and I realized two things. One, it wasn't a child. Two, it knew exactly where I stood. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. At dawn, I called building management. A young man picked up, sounding bored. Yes, something does climb the balconies. No, we can't do anything about it. Stay away from the balcony between 3:15 and 3:25. Anything else I can help you with? Anything else? Like he just informed me the laundry room was temporarily closed. I hung up before I screamed.
At night, fear made me lock the balcony door. Not because I believed the lock mattered, but because humans need rituals to feel safe. I closed the curtains, turned every light on, sat on my bed with a knife as if it would help. And like clockwork, 3:18 a.m. But this time the sounds were quicker, hungrier, as if whatever climbed was excited. When it reached the balcony, the knocking started, soft at first, like it was testing the glass. Then, the frame trembled. I clamped my hands over my ears. The whisper came again, louder now, closer.
Why are you hiding?
I bit down on a scream. The thing shifted its weight, footsteps against the balcony floor. Too heavy for a child, too light for an adult. Something else. Something wrong.
Don't you like visitors?
The curtain moved. Not outward, like wind would push it, but inward, as if a finger were hooking the fabric. I snapped. I ran from the room, slammed the door, turned on every light, blasted music, anything to drown out the sounds. Still, through the noise, I heard it whisper.
You're awake? Good.
That was the last straw. In the morning, I begged the landlord to let me move units. He refused. He said, "Whatever visits the balconies," he not meeting my eyes, "doesn't care what floor you're on." I stopped sleeping. I stopped eating. I stopped living anywhere except inside the hours before 3:18 and after sunrise. Then, the pattern changed. The next night, the knocking didn't come from the balcony. It came from inside the living room. I approached slowly, carefully. The balcony curtains were open, wide open. I had locked them. I had closed them. I had triple-checked. Footprints, wet, small, wrong, trailed across the floor and disappeared into the hallway. The apartment was silent, too silent, until I heard breathing behind me. I turned, nothing. The breathing moved, like it was circling me, invisible, close enough to touch. I ran to the bedroom, slammed the door, pushed the dresser against it, and stayed there until dawn. Something was inside now, something that didn't need to climb anymore.
I called 12A, my old neighbor. When she answered, she already sounded like she'd been crying. "You opened the curtain, didn't you?" she whispered. "I didn't, I swear." "You looked at it. That's how it starts." I gripped the phone. "What does it want?" A pause. Then, "Company." The line went dead. I decided to spend the next night away, in a hotel, anywhere else. But at 3:18 a.m., my phone vibrated on the nightstand. An unknown number. I shouldn't have answered. But fear makes stupid decisions feel like hope. I pressed the phone to my ear. At first, there was only static. Then, breathing. Slow. Wet. Familiar. A whisper slid through the speaker.
You can't leave your balcony alone.
My heart stopped. I hung up, turned off the phone, turned off everything. But I still heard it. Not through the phone, through the balcony door of the hotel room. Climbing. Something was climbing. Something had followed me. At dawn, I checked out without showering, without checking the mirror, without looking at anything reflective at all. I returned to my apartment, not because it was safe, but because nowhere else would save me. I barricaded the balcony with furniture, pushed the couch against the door, stacked books, blankets, anything. But at 3:18 arrived. The furniture shook violently.
Let me in.
No! I screamed. Voice cracking. The whisper changed, softened, turned into a voice I recognized. My sister's voice. She died years ago.
Please, it's me. Let me in.
My knees buckled. Tears blurred my vision. Stop! I whispered. Stop using her voice! A pause. Then, it's not her voice. The tone shifted, growing deeper, older, truer. This is how you sound when you're crying. Every hair on my body stood up. I realized then that it didn't want to hurt me. It wanted to be me. The balcony door cracked. Glass splintered. My reflection in the glass didn't move the same way I did. Slowly, too slowly, it turned its head. A shadow peeled itself from the reflection. Tall, bent, human-shaped only in the loosest sense. It pressed its face to the crack in the glass. Something with too many joints, too many angles, too much hunger.
Let me in,
It whispered again.
so I can stop climbing.
The glass shattered, the room filled with cold. They found the apartment a week later when neighbors complained of noise. The balcony door was broken from the inside. The furniture was scattered, my belongings left behind. But no one found me. Not a trace, not a drop of blood. Only one thing was certain. At 3:18 a.m., the new tenant of 12B heard someone climbing. Slow, rhythmic, steady. When he approached the balcony, he heard a whisper. My voice. Are you awake? And now you know the rule. Never be near your balcony at 3:18 a.m. because something climbs every night. Patient, persistent, learning your voice bit by bit. And once you hear yourself whispering through the glass, it's already inside.
Those were 3 disturbing stories from inside an apartment complex. And if they left you with that uneasy feeling, good. Because places like these exist everywhere, maybe even in your city, on your street, or right above you. If you hear something tonight, just hope it's your neighbor. Thanks for listening. Stay safe.